So my dude's Valkyr, and today I'm going to be talking about PvP in Genshin. Now I know when I say PvP in Genshin, people are like, oh dear god, no, do not bring unit versus unit, and I absolutely agree. I think it's going to be a whale fest of C6 Zhonglis and C6 Noels if that ever happens, and I think it'd be terrible for the life of the game if they release straight up combat PvP. So instead I've been thinking about alternatives, and I think I've done a pretty good job of coming up with the alternatives. Let me know what you guys think, and I want to just propose some ideas and see where the community stands on them, because I've gotten some ideas I think are pretty good. So if you guys know any other gacha game, you know a lot of gacha games have guilds. And eventually, I don't know when eventually is, but eventually I imagine Genshin will as well, because basically every other gacha game has guilds. And in those guilds, a lot like 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross would have a guild boss, and you would compete against a basically unlimited HP guild boss for which guild can deal the most damage. Now, that being said, of course you will have the top 1% of the 1%, the top 50 guilds that are all C6 R5'd out, and they're just going to be absolute giga whales. You're going to have those where the best guilds are just like, hey, if you don't have a C6 R5 unit, you can't join. But the thing is this is a system like that would allow like a normal guild, like a guild I would have would just be between me and my friends, and it would allow us to where if I was a giga whale, which I am, I could carry my free-to-play friends to higher rewards because it would be a combined effort. And not to mention, due to the way the game's set up and the way Bennett essentially works, if you are doing reactions, you can do big PP damage very quickly. You can do something like a national team comp for a ton of damage and stay somewhat competitive, although there's no way in hell you're doing as much damage as a giga whale. But you'll be able to stay somewhat competitive that way, and it'll make the game a little bit more competitive in that sense, and that's something that I look forward to. That's one way to implement it to where we can have our characters actually matter in PvP as far as the PvP aspect goes. But whenever you get into it, a lot of the PvP in Genshin I can see is just not going to involve characters. Something like Windtrace was a very good stepping stone, is a good first foot in the door, because I think unanimously everyone loved Windtrace, everyone loved how competitive it was. The only thing people didn't like was how annoying Mona was, the fact that Mona could essentially disappear fully, which was pretty annoying. The other thing is, the other idea for like a PvP mode I had in mind was something like Tower or Theater Mechanicus, where you guys know how in Theater Mechanicus, you have like a map. Now if you ever played like Balloons, like Versus in Balloons, you're gonna understand what I'm coming from. But imagine like in Theater Mechanicus, whoever clears the waves first, they get an advantage to where they can send more monsters or buff up the monsters that the other person's getting. So the better you do than the other person, and it's on the timer based thing, the more pressure you can put on the other person to fail, to the point where it snowballs out of control for very quick games. And it would be a really fun PvP mode because there would be a lot of strategy involved, there'd be all sorts of tactics, a meta, and it would be its own thing, not character reliant at all, but instead brain power reliant. How smart are you with tower positioning, what towers are you putting where, etc. And just have the two maps same across from each other, so you can actually sit there and watch your friends struggle, or watch the random people you're matched with struggle. Essentially stuff like that I think would be really fun PvP game modes. But yeah, I think like the biggest one would be, like I said, just an unlimited HP boss, and just have it whoever deals the most damage, so you could start getting like a weekly reward cycle. So if it was guild based, then that means free to play would have the advantage or the ability to have whales help them out. So you guys would get guild rewards every single week, and you would get a weekly Chrono Crystal, I'm thinking Legends. I've been thinking of so many gachas since yesterday because I've been trying to like think about all of the system, whatever. You would get so many Primo Gems a week, like somewhere around like 1,000 or something. I imagine would be something about what, not actually weekly, it'd be like 300 to 400 knowing Genshin. It'd be like 300 to 400 Primo Gems a week, and you could sit there and compete like that for the, obviously the better guilds get the more Primo Gems, get different rewards, and it would be things like that. I think it'd be really fun. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about PvP and Genshin. These are just two ideas that I thought of really quickly. Well, not really quickly. I've been thinking about them pretty much all day, and I wanted to discuss them because I do think that this game needs some form of in-game or competitive game mode. for the sake of the longevity of the game. I know no one's quitting. I'm not quitting, but in-game currently stinks. These last 7 days of the update cycle always stink. It really sucks. Sitting here wanting your next character, knowing what's coming, and super hyped up, and the only thing you can do is stick your thumb up your butt and wait. So, like I said, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about a competitive mode, and if you have any ideas or suggestions for a competitive mode, let me know in the comment section below. I'd be curious to read them all. Anyways, thank you all for watching. As always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.